welcome to another one of my vlogs, and you find me this time in the Netherlands, in the north, on a lake called Carpfarm near the city of Assen. It's August 23, summer, and as you can see it's a glorious day. We took about 5 hours from Calais to the lake, so that's not too bad compared to some of the lakes and journeys I've been on. It's quite reasonable for myself. Oh, seeing a little bleep on the rod then. And obviously we got to the lake just before 1 o'clock when the gates opened. There was a couple of cars already there before us, and Bert the owner let us in at 1 o'clock, and we all headed into the man cave, and we sat down. He obviously offered us coffee and tea, and then went through, you know, the rules, what you can do, can't do, what the lake's been like the last couple of weeks, what sort of tactics have been working, you know, light bait, heavy bait, zigs, that sort of thing, so we at least can prepare ourselves and give ourselves some ideas of maybe how we want to approach the lake. So that was really good. He gave us ideas on sort of distances, spots, the depths that fish have been caught at as well. So that's all useful information. Then once we'd finished our drinks and that, people ordered their bait or tackle. A few of us ordered boats with echo and outboard. So that's all good. You don't have to bring it all with you. He's got it all here. He's got hard boats with the with one of those large square solar unhooking mats, a couple of landing nets, unhooking mats, slings. So you don't bring anything like that. Weighing tripod, the only thing is scales, that's it. You've got a bucket with all the fish care, all the treatments, things like that, so there's nothing you need on that front, so that's fantastic. The facilities, there's a shower on site, and there's like a little potty thing for each of the swims that you have to bag up and take up to the waste bin by the shower. But first impressions, I'm looking forward to it and keen as anything. So based on what Bert has advised, I've got one in the margin to my right in about 10 foot of water. It comes up to just shy of 9 foot. There's like a sandy, silty, a few stones, just not that far out, 30 yards to the right off the reed bed, and then just slopes down and goes into the abyss, into 45 foot. And like I say, I'm just on the back shelf of it, in 10 foot, and I've put in about 1 kilo so far, mixed particles, complex tea, the house pellet that I got a sack of off Bert, and also my own pellet as well. So he this year has been introducing 3mm Coppins pellets, and I've also got my 6mm as well. So that's, you know, what we started with, and the other two at the moment are on zigs. I actually probably messed up really, so I'm going to have to try and sort myself out on Monday, get to a tackle shop. It's too deep really, you're talking 40-45 foot out there, and I've got fixed zigs, which will be a nightmare to land, as you can imagine. 3 rod lengths of zig line. I'm going to be half a mile back behind the swim while Caroline tries to net it. That's just not right. So I'll probably ditch those as soon as it gets dark and put those on the bottom for tonight, and see if I can get myself some adjustables, floats. I've got some at home. They're no good in the garage, are they? They need to be with me. Schoolboy error, but yeah. So I think in the day it'll be out on the zigs. Obviously we've been here a few hours this evening now. We've just had our tea, the rods are all set, and we've seen some fish topping out in the middle, as you expect. Another group of anglers, I think there's 9 of us on, so we've all been out, boats, bait boats, casting, marking around, whatever. So they've all, 400 or whatever of the fish are all sat out in the middle now, hiding. But they've been topping, they've still been active, so that's good. And then also Caroline, she's got 2 rods down the left-hand margin. There's a rocky bit there. There's quite a few boulders and rocks and that. We've got one sort of on close to the reeds and one a little bit further off, and just done a spread of bait sort of just a strip of it for anything that comes in the night, and then we'll decide what to do in the day tomorrow, what to do on that one. Possibly what I'm thinking is we'll have one each in the margins each side. I'll have 2 out on the zigs, and Caroline will have 1 out on the zig as well. Okay. But like I say, adjustable's got to be the way. Probably a 6 foot length above a float is what I'm thinking. 6-10 foot. Get it out, cast it out there, pop the zig up so you can see it on the surface, and then just put it down. Generally, I fish sort of 1 to 3 foot below the surface. So if we've got three out there, two of mine, 1 of Caroline's, probably 1, 2 and 3 foot under the surface, and see if any of those can produce for us. So yeah, like I say, it's 7 nights ahead of us, a week in northern Netherlands. It's going to be great. Targets, Caroline hasn't caught a fish from Holland before, so anything would be, and I'm sure Caroline will be over the moon. Myself, my PB in Holland's 33 pounds, a common and a mirror, so if I can beat that, I'll be happy. But to be honest, just having a fish, it's not an easy lake because of the depths, because of the situation. It doesn't do loads of fish, you know. I don't know what an average week is from what Bert's been telling us the last couple of weeks and what I've looked online. I guess maybe 20 fish to 6 anglers is probably the average. That gives you an idea. A handful of fish, a couple of fish each, you know, 1 or 2 will blank, and 1 will have maybe half a dozen or something if they're in the right area and just fishing it right situation, right tactics. So hopefully that will be me. But like I say, a couple of fish, just enjoy it, enjoy the weather. It's August. It's mid-20s, high pressure, going to be zig weather basically. Maybe we'll get lucky and nick 1 or 2, you know, the odd night or something. It's going to be hot, 24 to 27 degrees, high pressure for the first few days, and then hopefully predicting at the moment some rain and showers coming in Thursday, Friday for the end of the week. So that's what I'm going to be hoping that the fish go down and we can get some action off the deck. This fish of it's Sunday night, just into Monday morning. My birthday as well, and the lake's awarded me, or gifted me, one of its jewels of the lake. Like a common koi type thing, looks like a bit like a tiger with the stripes, which I think they call Bert. At 45.5 pounds, falling to a complex tea and pineapple pop-up snowman. Oh, what a beauty, eh? 45.5 pounds. Oh, Dutch common. Oh, yes. Caught from the marginal reed bed. What a beauty. I'll try and turn around. I'm not sure why I'm whispering either, sorry folks. What a fish. Cute. I know, I'm trying to... There we go. Probably put a kilo out on Saturday and another kilo today, but this hook bait was just off the bait. Typical sort of big fish tactics. And there we are. That's the other side of it. You see those 2 black stripes? Like I say, it makes it look a bit like a tiger koi type thing. Just shy of 21 kilos in Europeans. What a beauty. Oh, yes. Thankfully didn't fight too much, it was all in the margins. I went out in the boat but didn't go more than about 15 yards. Still, safe tangling any other lines. Yes. Oh, I think we'll get her back, eh?
Happy birthday!
Yeah. Common. No, not that way. Turn round to this. So as you can see, I'm wearing my life jacket here. I was thinking of getting out in the boat and playing the fish, but it came in quite straightforward, so I ended up playing it on the bank, and this was the second take on the zigs on the Wednesday, so, and a nice common, just over 27 pounds. Well, it's Friday afternoon, last knockings of the session, and we have another sig common from Carpfarm. Lovely old fish. It was a drop back on this one. Quickly rushed out and hit it. Luckily played it on from the bank. Got a load of red blotches on it, but it's a lovely old Dutch 30-pound common. Come on. It's definitely an angry one. There we go. Is he a beauty or a she? A beauty or what? Yes. I made a bit of a mistake on the zigs. Caroline had one on the Tuesday on the zigs, and we cast them out Tuesday morning. I had one on the Wednesday, cast them out the Wednesday, and then I left them overnight. Didn't have nothing Thursday, even though a few shows were there. I went out, inspect, and the line was just absolutely covered in sediment. It looked like tow rope. So I made a big mistake there. So obviously it's Friday now and I've recast them out again. So all the lines clean, and about the same time in the afternoon, the 3 bites have come, give or take, in the same sort of half-hour period. I probably missed out on one yesterday, and we didn't get the zigs till Monday afternoon, so we missed out Sunday, Monday, sadly. But we still had a few lovely commons. I'm just hoping, as we all do, that just one more, maybe a nice big fat black mirror. But I have to say, for me and Caroline, it's been a enjoyable trip with a double, a 20, a 30 here, and a 40. Yes, thank you Carpfarm, thank you Bert and Koi. It's a lovely lake, and I think with that, as you can hear, I think he wants to go back home. Thanks. Okay, so thought I'd cover my bait for the trip. So first off is the boilies. So what I have with me is a couple of bags of the 5 kilo bags of complex tea freezers in 18 mil and 15 mil, and I'm using those whole and crumbed, mixing it all up, getting various different weights and sizes, keep those fish thinking, and it sort of complements the house boilies. They're quite a dark fish meal, so I thought these would go quite well with those. So I've got a couple of 5 kilo bags of each of those frozen, and I'm air drying them, just hanging them up here on the side during the day. There's no bait freezers on this lake, so just bear that in mind. So yeah, so that's the boilies. Pellets, basically I have big old sack here of my ever go-to Alltech Coppins 6 mil premium select pellets. So that's what I bring with me. So that's a 25 kilo sack. And then on this lake, he supplies the house pellet is actually a 3 mil. It's Alltech Coppins as well. It's very similar to the thingy, but this is intensive pellets, 3 mil, and he's been putting that in for the last year or two and supplying that to all the anglers who wants it anyway. Obviously he fishes it, Bart fishes himself and his family and that, so obviously sees a lot of that. So he did used to use 6 mil and that, but he's gone down to 3 the last couple of years, just sort of creating that bed, that smell, whatever, but there's no real sort of food there. It's all broken down, and the small fish and whatever have it, but so that seems to be popular, and I think those two will complement each other quite well as they break down at different rates, depending on when the fish get onto the spots. I also brought with me 6 jars of the dynamite mixed particles. So I'm thinking, because of the weather's, checking the forecast and that coming out, I probably won't go through loads of bait. It's quite hard water. You shouldn't, you wouldn't typically expect 10, 20 fish. You're talking a couple of fish for the week. Hopefully, a good sized fish basically. So obviously that in mind, I thought a jar a day, 2.5 kilos a day. Basically on a couple of margin spots. That was my idea anyway. So that's what I've got mixing in there. I've got a few tins of sweet corn as well, just to mix it in. Just only use the small little tins, and I generally have a tin a day in the mix, all mixed up with the mixed particles, 15, 18 whole and crumbed up, 3 and the 6 mil pellet, and then I have a load of liquids as well. So I've got the complex tea liquid. I don't know if the camera's focused on that, but yeah, I've got a couple of bottles of that. I also have a couple of bottles of tuna extract and a couple of bottles of the shrimp extract. So I'll just go back, and then also what I'm doing is applying some fish zig oil. I've been using that as well, and also dipping with zig foam in that. So. So I'm just walking up to what they call the man cave on the left hand side of the entrance as you come in to the complex. Bert's house is just further beyond the man cave, and obviously he greets you when you arrive, and he has flasks of coffee and tea, and he goes through all the rules, the do's and don'ts, goes through what people have ordered or pre-ordered, see if anyone wants anything else, like if they want to hire out a bow or sacks of pellets and boilies, that sort of thing. So he goes through and you fill that out on the form, and then obviously if you need to order anything else during the week, you just add it onto your sheet basically. And then obviously you've got bits of tackle and bait on the side there, little bits and pieces that you can use. There is also a really good large tackle shop in the centre of Assam, which is where we went to when we realised I didn't bring my zig float kits with me. And you got a nice selection of fish on the wall. You can see here it's a varied stock of fish, and he sourced them from all over the place. Bert was telling me from obviously from his home country, the Netherlands, also from France, Hungary, Germany, all sorts. He's handpicked them all, every single one. And he's been running the lake for 18 years now. So yeah, and he was a fish farmer for many years in France. So obviously he's got an eye for fish. And then yeah, they've got some interesting leads in Holland. So this one, it's you can cast it in that, but obviously it's handy for people dropping it with bait boats and boats and that in the margins and that. It's a bit like the Corda cog system, but you don't need all the silly little bits and pieces. It's literally got the little bar in the middle there, and you slip on a lead clip and the tail rubber on the end of the lead. Any lead clip, it will fit any lead clip, just a little shake and it's off. The lead's dropped. It's really heavy lead as well. I guess it's about 6-7 ounces. So as you can see, there's two power sockets at the back of the shower unit, basically for phones or little small chargers. That's all you can put in there, but it's handy. It's something you can use while you're there. And then moving around to the shower unit, which is basically it's a converted horse box, but it's really nice and clean actually. Bert said to us he's going to replace it next year, but it's definitely better than some I've been to. I can think of a Tank 5 where that was absolutely awful. So although a Tank 5 isn't a fishing lake anymore, but yeah, no, I thought it was really nice and clean, spacious. So yeah, there isn't any toilets or portaloos or anything. You've just got the little camping toilets provided on each swim. So I'll take you through my zig setup. So if I show you the components that I use first of all, I've got the Fox zig floats. I can't show those right now because they're all deployed, but I'll do that afterwards. So there's the Corda zig line, £11. Corda mixer size 6 barbed. Also on this setup you could use a wide gape, size 6 or 8 potentially. Also got the Corda anti-tangle sleeves, they're quite long compared to typical ones. And then I've got obviously the main thing, which is the Corda TA zig kickers, and I'm using, as you can see here, red and black on this occasion. So I'm just going to tie a little length up so you can see what it looks like. And I'm using 6 foot length, tying up a 6 foot length. So get the tail end and just basically thread on the anti-tangle sleeve and just do a loop knot, because I've got a QC swivel attached underneath the Fox zig float. So just do an overhand knot for loop like that. You're not going to see it that well, are you? But yeah, basically a nice big loop. And then I'll just tighten that up like so. Trim off the tag a little bit, not too much. Got a nice long sleeve, so you don't need to make it all nice and clean and flush. Have a bit of give there. So that's what the tail end of it will look like. That will attach to a QC swivel. So if I just get that like that, pop it on and then slide it up like so, and that's obviously attached to the top of the zig float, if you can see that. And then at the business end, like I say, around 6 foot. I'm 6 foot, so it's nice and easy for me, head to foot. Give or take a few inches, but it's around 6 foot. And then with a size 6 mixer, I do a 5-turn grinner. It's up to you what you want to do, because you don't want any kinks or knots or anything in the line, because you've only got a short bit between the hook eye and the zig kicker itself. You've got a bit of a tail, not too much. You want a nice clean knot. Just moisten that up a bit. Nice, yeah, that's nice clean. That's what we want. Use a little bit of a tag. Stops the kicker moving around, basically. I find just have a little bit of a tag of line, and then just pop that on. You can see a little tag there. Just leave a little bit so it can push in, and that just creates an extra little bit of grip. And basically what happens, compared to other zigs, most zigs will probably sit upright like that, but the Think and Angler one will actually sit like that. If you can see that hook, probably not with me here. Yeah, that's how it will sit, as most will sit like that. Yeah, and obviously the TA, you got a little loop there as well, little hole there, pinprick hole that you can put some maggots on or something like that. So yeah, and basically from that all the way to the end will be 6 foot. And that's my zig setup, basically. Managed to catch us a couple of fish. Hopefully we've got a couple of days to go. Maybe we can snare another one or two. We shall see.